Welcome to The Art Array. I am your host, Nathan Crockett, author of My Soul Burned, aka the greatest story that has ever been written, according to my mom. Today's special guest is Mickey Black. Mickey, why don't you go and tell us a little bit about your story?
Okay, so I wrote When Mountains Crumble. It's a dystopian romance, but it reads a lot like a fairy tale. So that's pretty cool. I always get caught off guard when people ask me what my story's about, but I came up with a pitch for it.
Okay.
So, um, it's essentially about a woman who wants to overthrow her tyrant father, and then she falls in love with her childhood best friend in the process. And her father, Sebastian, is kind of like a tyrant lord in a futuristic America, but everything about the future isn't what you would typically see. They kind of go back to like feudalistic system. So there's like lords and ladies. And what leads up to that is there was like a catastrophic event that basically wiped technology and stuff. So they just kind of developed this like old fashioned lifestyle.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. So it's like in the future, but also kind of in the past at the same time. So,
I felt like with that, I could kind of explore the aspects that make it feel like a fairy tale. Because I feel like most fairy tales are very old fashioned. So there's like a ball and sword play and stuff.
okay. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
sword fights. It was
I do
actually funny. Not
too.
too long ago, I was rewatching The Princess Bride, and I was just thinking,
Yes.
like, right? And I was thinking, like, man, I miss sword fights like this in movies. Like, it's been a long time since we've seen a good sword fight in a movie.
Yes, definitely. Like, I think the most recent sword fight I remember being good was like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's been a while. Are you self-published or did you do traditional publishing?
So I am self-publishing. When I started out, I have no idea what I'm doing. If that wasn't obvious, it's been a learning process. I self-published a book of poetry in 2019, but recently took it off like for purchase because I want to redo it. There was some like typos I noticed,
Mm.
and I just want to fix that. And like I want to do a better cover. I feel like it deserves better than what I gave it. But so I tried going into this novel, I tried querying, and I wasn't in a good like mental headspace, and I definitely wasn't ready to query when I did. But I'm so far like invested in the self-publishing, I don't think I would want to try querying again. But also, I really like the creative control you get. Like working with a cover designer has been really, really cool. I don't have to like have anyone else's opinion but my own for the cover because, like, obviously the artist has their opinions, but like, it's basically just me and her.
So far, all my guests have been self-published, but I always ask because I'm just curious as to what the current traditional publishing thing is like. I do know I've heard though from other people. One of my other guests said that someone she knew did the traditional publishing, and they chose the cover for that person, and they said it
Yeah.
didn't even match the tone of their book at all. Like it was like something completely different, but they gave it like a real typical commercial style. But yeah, like I said, I don't really see the benefit, but maybe there is. But eventually, I
I
think
mean,
I'll get someone who's traditionally published, and we can find out a bit more about it. And there's something else I'm very curious about. I see in your bio that you have a story coming out in October of next year. So that's
yeah.
pretty far in advance. So I was just curious, is it something that you already finished and you're just giving yourself time to promote it, or are you just giving yourself a deadline to make sure it's done by a certain time?
So, like I said before, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I like to be very precise with how things happen. So I'm giving myself time to mess up. Yeah, so if like something doesn't go the way I want, I'm giving myself time to be like, "Oh, let's try it this way instead." Like I've had to like budget to do everything for this book. So the money I had saved for my proofreader, for instance, I just had to use to fix my car. It's been kind of a bumpy road with that, so I'm pushing back proofreading a little bit. Also, my book is very much a fall read, and I knew
Okay.
it wouldn't be ready for 2025. Like the book was done, but I knew like it didn't have a cover yet. It hadn't been fully edited yet. I just want to make sure it's as perfect as it can be.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I was
Yeah.
just curious. I know
Yeah.
the first promotion I ran for my book, I could
Mhm.
have done it a little bit sooner than I did, but I said, you know what? If I just wait another month, it'll be Halloween time because my is a very dark story, so I thought it would
Yeah.
probably sell better then. Unfortunately, I had all kinds of problems with the campaign, but that's a whole nother deal. But like, I definitely understand the idea of being strategic and even releasing certain stories at certain times, can make a difference because sometimes people
Yeah.
are more specifically looking for it. Depending on what time it is.
The specific date I chose is also my main character's birthday, and a large like arc of the story is her turning 18. So I wanted to kind of pay homage to that a little bit.
When I was doing a little bit of research on you before this, I saw that you teach guitar.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that as far as how you got into it? Like, are you still doing it?
I started playing guitar when I was 12 because I was in love with Kevin Jonas, and it ended up turning into like $20,000 in student loans and now a career. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Not the student loans, but like
Yeah.
but yeah, I teach guitar, piano, and ukulele. I do like after school music lessons, like private and group lessons. I don't really know if I'll ever give it up. Like even if writing for somehow by some miracle like pays and I can
Mhm.
like make a career of it, I don't think I would ever stop teaching cuz like the satisfaction of like hearing your students improve every year is like so awesome.
So since you have a lot of experience with the guitar, do you ever kind of use that to help you write? Like think of music that would kind of go with your scene?
Yeah, so for each of my projects I've done, I've had a different playlist for them. When Mountains Crumble has its own playlist, its sequel has its own playlist. And then I have a vampire burlesque story that's like, I'm going to work on it eventually. I'll come back to it, but it has its own playlist.
Nice. Vampire burlesque. That's interesting. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I had a dream about like a vampire nightclub and like all these beautiful vampire folk like led me on stage and they were trying to kill me, but I was just like, okay. And it stuck with me. So I was like, I thought that would be a cool story.
And then my next question is, do you use an outline?
I did. I started writing on my phone when I was pregnant. I was
Okay.
super sick when I was pregnant and I just kind of outlined the whole story out of boredom cuz like all I really had were my thoughts. And so I just like came up with this plot in my head and I kind of outlined it on the notes app in my phone, but my outlines never match the story. Like it's they're all my stories end up like wildly different than the outlines. The outlines just make me feel a little more organized.
Like I know with me, I don't follow my outlines exactly, but once I get to the outline stage, the finished
Mhm.
product is like pretty close. So that's interesting that
Yeah.
yours became dramatically different. Like a lot of times in the planning stages, my story will end up becoming dramatically different. But like once I get to the outline stage, from there to the final project, it's usually pretty similar.
As I'm writing, I'll like think the outline is really good, and then I'll be like, "What if this happens instead?" And I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, that's good." So I'll just kind of veer off sometimes.
Well, that's good. Just because you have an outline doesn't mean you can't go off roading.
Yeah.
Aside from your writing and your music, like what else do you like to do for fun?
I crochet, which is really fun, but I only crochet during like winter time. That's like a Christmas hobby for me because I usually try to take the month of December off. I haven't done that this year, but like I usually try to focus on like just relaxing because it's a very light work month for me. I play video games, not as much as I used to, but I really like video games, and I feel like playing video games helps inspire my writing because I can just like imagine while I'm playing them.
So what games do you play?
I really like Fallout. That's probably my favorite. Fallout 4 is my favorite game of all time. I play Civ. I really like Civ 5. I'm like I know there's been two more,
Mm.
but I'm stuck on Civ 5. I like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing.
How do you go about finding a market for your book? Or do you think you're still kind of figuring that out? Which, after based on some of your previous answers, I think I know the answer to that. But
I am pretty active on social media. I have been getting like significantly more views on TikTok than I used to, so I'm trying to like use TikTok to market my book. That'll probably be my main form of how I market it. Um Obviously I'm active on X, but that's just more to connect with the writing community, I think.
and then what is your overall goal as a writer?
I would love to make writing like a job as like
Mm.
a long-term goal. Maybe I said before I would never give up teaching, but like some sort of income would be nice. But honestly, like right now I would just like people to read my stories. Like I don't care if I make money on it.
All right. Well, once again, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. This was really fun.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
Have a good night.